So when you're living in an RV, you've got some gadgets that are super expensive, like your solar setup and upgrades you made, physically to your RV. But then while we've been living full time in an RV, there's some things for us that don't cost an arm and a leg, but we see ourselves using them every single day. And so I wanted to highlight 6 of those things today, what they are, why we love them, and why you might love them too. The first is this retractable clothesline. Now we got this idea actually at an RV show when we were looking at Airstreams. We saw they had this bell looking thing inside of the bathroom and we didn't even know what it was. But it turns out it actually pulls a clothesline all the way out and it can attach to any other point you want. I can't remember how long this line is. It's pretty long though, if you want it to be long. And so we've actually got 2 of these in our bedroom. And what we do is, if we're stuck in a situation where we don't have a washer dryer and we end up washing our own clothes, then we use these to hang the clothes on. And then we open up the windows back in the bedroom on each side. So there's a window here, and then we got a window on the other side. And once we open both those windows, airflow comes back and forth between the 2 windows, and things can dry pretty well in the bedroom. Even if we are at a campground that has washers and dryers, sometimes there's things that we don't want dried, so we'll take those things out, hang them on these lines. So we use these at least on a weekly basis whenever we need to dry some clothes, but save some space in the meantime. There are different versions of this that are around 10, 12 bucks, but we actually got this one that was 20 bucks because a lot of your cheaper ones only have like a nylon string, and this is actually a stainless steel string that is supposed to last way longer, which is what we want because we have to replace enough stuff as it is living in an RV. Hey Hensley, you back?
No crashes. Did the whole trail, didn't we?
Good job. Wow.
That trail's beautiful. So something we've really found helpful is having a fruit basket. We had one in our last setup as well, and it is great. This one has fit perfectly in the Airstream. We love just having the extra storage because there's not a whole lot of storage in RV, so it's great to have somewhere to put your fruit or potatoes or onions or whatever it is that you want to have some storage for.
Which we don't have any of because we're about to go shopping, so.
We shop once a week, and grocery shopping is tomorrow, so that is why we are skimpy right now. Usually, I mean, this holds a ton of fruit. We eat quite a bit of fruit. We did have to upgrade the chains. They were a little weak, but ever since we changed the chain out, it has held great, and it goes down the road without any mess or spill, so we've found that to be very helpful.
So I wasn't too sure about this purchase, but we are big fans of Amazon. We're pretty invested into their system with Amazon Prime. And then we also have Amazon Prime Music, which is cheaper than Spotify and to us has pretty much everything we need. So because we were already invested in those 2 things, we actually got an Amazon Echo Dot as well. And this thing's tiny. They have a few different versions of Amazon Echo. For us, this one works really well. We just keep the Dot up here on this top shelf, and it's actually hooked into, of course, that's the power, and then this hooks into our speaker system for the Airstream right here. And then so when we need things from the Echo Dot, we just talk to it and it comes through the speakers in the Airstream. The main use you would think of this for is for the music side of Amazon, which we do use it for that, but there's a lot of other uses that have been awesome. Sometimes if we're doing a blog post, don't know how to spell something, ask it how to spell it. It'll spell it. If Marissa uses it as a timer when she's cooking, sometimes we'll ask it what the weather's gonna be like in a certain city. So what's really cool about this is you just totally voice activate it. And because we live in such a small space, we can voice activate it from just about anywhere, ask it a question, ask it to play music, ask it to do, which is really good for a toddler too. We have playlists set up for Hensley, so we'll say, we'll tell it to play certain playlists for her, certain songs. And Marissa's mom has actually loved this as well because she loves certain music, certain songs by certain artists, and you can tell it to play just about anything, and it has it because it's tied into the Amazon Music selection. So absolutely love this thing. This is the most expensive out of the bunch for what you get. We think it's well worth it. It's about 50 bucks, and it's at the top end of all the gadgets we're gonna mention.
Because we've been boondocking more, we wanted to find ways to be able to save on water. And this was an easy solution. We just found this really cheap basin at Walmart, and it was like $3, so we thought, well, we'll give it a try. I'm able to wash the dishes in this basin here, and it fits almost perfectly in here. When I wash the dishes, the water that's left over, instead of letting it drain down into your gray tank, if you're at a spot where it's okay to empty your gray water out, you can just empty the bucket, or you can just flush it down the black tank, so you're not filling up your gray tank. And if you want to be really, really frugal with your water, you can even catch that water in the shower where your shower is heating up. And it feels like such a waste of water when it's just sitting there running until it warms up. You can catch it in a basin, and then you can wash your dishes in that water if you really want to save on water. It's been a really good boondocking tool for us.
And so for this next gadget, I know I've shown this shower head before, but I don't think I've highlighted what I added onto this that does not come with this Oxygenics shower head. So normally this comes with like a plastic, not adjustable, just an off and on type switch. But we upgraded to this brass adjustment, and it lets you totally control the water flow that's coming through on this thing just as much as you want. And it's way more solid than the plastic one. We actually broke 2 of the plastic ones by that shower head if it ever falls off, and then that plastic one just snaps. And so the brass one's good for that reason. It was around $10, something like that for it. But well worth it to add that on to the shower head in our opinion. And so the last gadget I want to show is this 3-in-1 USB plug. This thing is awesome if you travel a lot like us and you're in a vehicle a lot like us and you've got a lot of different gadgets like us. It's really, really great to replace 3 cords with 1 when you have this. Now there's different kinds of cords like this that I tried out before this, and they would charge my device, but I couldn't transfer data. So if you've got like a camera or something like that where you want to move your pictures and video off of it onto your computer, some of these don't do that, but this design does. If you see one that's designed like this, and I'll have a link to it as well. They run around $12. We use them to plug into our phones. We use them to plug into our cameras. We use them to plug into external battery chargers. We use them to plug into external Bluetooth speakers that we have. I plug it into my GoPro. I mean, daily basis, this thing is almost always plugged into something. It was a great, great, great investment of $12 for this. We loved it so much, we actually bought a second one. So now we've got 2 of these, and having 2 of these covers a ton of our needs. You know, especially if you're boondocking and you've only got certain USB plugs where you can plug things in, we can plug this in, and then we've got just multiple things we can charge with 1 cord.
When you're living in a small space, if you can find things that do multi-purpose, that's amazing for this lifestyle. Yeah. You want to find as many of those things as possible.
And some of the things we show might fit, like our tub may or may not fit your sink perfectly. We bought that at Walmart, but hopefully there is a tub out there that does fit your sink perfectly. Same thing with the basket. So some of these might take some trial and error. You may or may not be able to use exactly what we have depending on your RV setup or depending on your small space. But, just do a little homework, try a few things out, because yeah, when you find the right one, it's nice to have.
And sometimes it doesn't even have to be anything elaborate. Like the $3 tub has, been huge for us.
We hope some of this has been helpful for you guys in your journey like it has for us. And we will catch you guys later.
Alexa, play my music.
Say, Alexa, play You Can't Touch This.
Alexa, play Can't Touch This.
You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer.